Hello YouTube, my name is Tyler Beach. Currently enlisted in the Maryland National Guard as 31 Bravo or military police. And I just before I went to MEPS, I had a lot of questions about it, and I was a little worried about it. So I'm making this video for everyone who might be going to MEPS or trying to see what the enlistment process is like and actually what you have to do. So all right, first things first. My recruiter picked me up at my house. I live close to Fort Meade, so I didn't really have to stay at a hotel. That's for people who kind of live farther away, I guess, maybe. But yeah, I just drove up there with my recruiter. He checks us in. First thing you do is you go watch like a PowerPoint with all the other, I guess, recruits. Um, and you watch PowerPoint, and they put you in a room, and you get briefed on what the medical and physical everything's going to be like, and you take your breathalyzer test. That's the first thing you do. I think, at least for me, it was take a breathalyzer test, and you pass it unless you were an idiot and drank before MEPS, but you pass it, and after that you just sign a lot of papers signing, oh, I'm not going to lie today, blah blah blah. They're trying to scare you and stuff. And after that, I went and took my ASVAB. I was a little scared about the ASVAB, but you can't really study for it. You can kind of study your test taking habits, but you can't really study for the ASVAB. It's basically general knowledge. And if you haven't learned it already, then you're not going to learn it by reading a book, basically. So it took me about like an hour and a half to finish it, and then you have to take like a personality test. You can't really fail the personality test. It'll just ask you about like, it basically asks if you're like depressed and stuff, and if you have like mental disorders, but they don't really ask you it. They ask you to describe things about yourself, but it's irrelevant. So yeah, I scored a 86, I think, on my ASVAB, and kids I was with scored like 90s and stuff. So everybody was pretty good. So yeah, basically at that point I knew I could choose any job I wanted because my GT and ST scores were like above 100 and something, so I was good. So basically after the ASVAB, you go to the physical area. Some people did the urinalysis first. I did the eye and vision test first, and I cleared through there. Went to the physical wing, I guess, and I did my physical, did my history, and then I did my I don't remember exactly what it was called, but it's the place where you do the duck walk and stuff. So yeah, you take off all your clothes and you do exercises with the other recruits, and I guess that's to see if you're physically able to do things that you'd have to do in the military. So you just do a bunch of exercises. Everyone made it through. The only thing about it was the medical doctor wasn't the coolest guy. He was kind of an asshole, like he you just do what he says basically, and you'll be fine. He yells a lot, but that's their job. They sit there for hours upon hours with people not listening to them. So I guess the product of his environment. So after that, after the medical area, I went and did the urinalysis and the blood test. The blood test sucked because the lady kind of messed up on my shot, but yeah, she did the blood screening for I think HIV, and then passed my drug test. So after that, I just had to go choose my job basically. So I go into operations room, I think it's called, and they get me squared away with all my papers, and they give you like this packet. They say take it to your liaison. So I took it to my National Guard liaison, and he's just like, he had to take a picture of my tattoos. I have tattoos on my arm, so that was like the last thing I had to do. And all right, so he sits me down in a chair, and he's like, okay, he pulls a computer screen, and he's like, you got in here a little late, but if you choose military police or some intel job, but I didn't know what it was because I didn't really want it to begin with. So it was some intel job in military police, and he was like, all right, if you can choose these two jobs and be able to do split option this year. So I was like, all right, I'll take military police, because my first two options for MOSs were military police and combat medic anyway. So I took it because something I would do. So I did it, and he was like, all right, now we just have to get you interviewed. So I got interviewed. The guy was cool, you know. The guy was cool. He just asked you questions about, like, why you did this, and, you know, he asked you about your, like, criminal background and morals and stuff. So, you know, you get through that, and you're basically in. You go, you do your fingerprints, you sign the pad a couple of times, and you shake the guy's hand, and you're in. And you go and you wait till the next cycle for the swearing in, and you swear in. And that's basically all MEPS is, you know. So it's basically just to see if you are morally and physically ready to get into the military. So don't even worry about it. If you haven't gotten seriously hurt, you know, you're fine. Thank you. Subscribe. Bye.